Okay, we're back for day 4. Is that 4? I think it's 4. Uh-oh. I may have titled this wrong. Oh no, day 4. Okay, got it right. Okay, back for day 4 of Stone Shards Blood Omen patch. So what we did, we moved the caravan back to the starter town. Yes. Did I? I didn't pick up the dungeon quest, did I? Claim mysterious disappearance. Okay, we did get the dungeon. Claim reward. That means we completed the dungeon? Yeah, we completed the dungeon. Okay. I didn't turn it in yet. Perfect. Just trying to get our bearings. It's been a while since the last episode. I don't remember exactly where we were. I do remember we got the tome for warfare, which is cool. So I picked up Opportune Moment, which allows our strikes to replenish energy, which is good. We got Offensive Tactics coming up next level. How close are we to the next level? Pretty close. So by the time we hit the next dungeon, we should, or partway through the next dungeon, we should have that available to us, which is good. The maneuvers in this tree are fairly good in dungeons because you tend to be fighting a lot of enemies all at once, so you can stack up the additional stacks of it because it gets bonus stacks based on how many targets you can see. So it's better to use those, or more mana efficient, more efficient in general, to use those when you're fighting bigger groups of enemies. Not to say it's not good in a 1v1 or a 2v1 situation, but we came into town at the just wrong moment. Okay, I'm gonna do a little shenanigans because I don't want to walk all the way back to camp. We're just gonna reload the file. We'll sleep till 6 tomorrow. Okay, so we're hungry. I think we had materials in here. Yeah, we do. For making something. So let's grab some veg on out, and let's make some salads. Okay. Okay, green salad. Yeah, it uses the cabbage. And then we also got that as a potential salad. This one gives 12 hunger versus 10 hunger. I think the green salad is better, even though it doesn't hit the hunger as much, because it helps get our immunity up. So I'm gonna make the green salad, especially since we have 2 leeks and 2 vegetables, so we can eat this, go back, grab the other leek, and make a second helping that we can store or we can eat immediately. Doesn't matter. There we go. And we can just throw these back. If we can find another leek and another random vegetable, then we can do that. Do we have anything stored in here? No. Okay, so we're gonna sell all this knick-knack. Maybe get that helmet identified. Never know where to position my mic. Music seems a little intense, so I'm assuming that I need to have it closer to my face. But I don't want to get it too close to my face because then it starts picking up my some of my mouth sounds that I don't want it picking up. Okay. Definitely want to repair that. Okay, I don't know if he's gonna have enough money to take all of my stuff, but we'll sell as much of it as we can off to him. Looks like he has enough money. This is too damaged. That is too bad. Oh, we had another one. Whoops. I was supposed to hold on to that. Whatever. Sure. We'll just repair it up then. We'll keep the regular silver one. This one's going to be a little bit more costly, but whatever. I might end up just selling that. Do we have an identification scroll? I don't think this is going to be better than our current helmet, but we can take a quick look. Bleed. It's got a health enchant on it, which is nice. But yeah, and it's a little too damaged. Too bad I don't have the things to repair it. Maybe I can. Maybe I should hold on to it just in case. That way I can sell it. We can just get some cloth scraps if we can. Oh, don't tell me this is okay. No, it says it's made of silver. Can I not repair silver here? Do I have to go to the jeweler for that? It's a pain. Okay, whatever. Guess we're gonna have to go to the capital at some point. Do I get ammunition now is the thing. We're still fighting a low-level dungeon, so we'll hold off on that for now. Just use rocks. Okay. So we sold off junk. Let's go turn this in, get a big chunk of change. And some rep. Done with the contract. I'll pick up the next one. Okay, perfect. I think the other dungeon just refreshed. So we'll probably do that one. Mainly because the other dungeon's a bit further away. Perfect. Though I might reposition the caravan regardless. Simply because I can't repair these lockpicks. I just want to check that real fast. No. Okay, I'm going to sell it just to make some room in the bag. We're going to definitely need to resupply though. I don't think I have anything wood on me. Is this considered wood? Maybe. Let's check. No, it's leather. Okay. Perfect. Okay, can't sell that. Most of our gear upgrade will be from here. We could get the patterned leather. Upgrade. That would be one more durability. What's this? A malicious sling. I think we already looked at this one, didn't we? Yeah. Doesn't have the raw stats on it. Makeshift sling. Yeah, I don't see... Besides this, but I don't really want that. I think we got pretty much everything for a little bit. We will repair that, though. Good, good. Alright. grab a bunch of medical supplies. Oh, cool. Accidentally talked to him about local events. Can also quickly grab... We have enough money. I'm going to just get this recipe so I don't have to think about whether or not I want to get it later on. Move all this stuff out. I'll just grab a ton of these. I'll probably put some of them in the caravan just so I can access them from there. Okay. Don't think I care too much about grabbing anything. And maybe an antitoxin might be worth holding on to. They're always useful to have on hand. And then maybe a herb astrac would be fine too. Perfect. Alright. Sell this recipe real quick. And just take a quick gander at his inventory. Could buy some rope. But nah. Okay. I'll refill my water here. Perfect. Alright, so we got 500 gold. So we're actually going up in cash, which is great. Because we're definitely going to need some money to get some better upgrades at some point. The thing about cloth upgrades is it takes a little bit to get the better quality stuff. Where a lot of the heavier gear, as soon as you can get your hands on it, is a significant upgrade from your medium and light armor, so feels much more of a boost. Light armor doesn't feel as good about getting boosted because of it having such low stats on it. At the cost of it not draining your energy as badly and other negative effects that are applied when you're wearing heavier armor. Okay. So we'll hold on to the books to be sold at the capital to the book guy. We're holding on to that candle for refill. We still need to test out the whole Litten candle thing because I haven't really toyed around with that too much, and that's kind of what was added in this expansion or patch. We'll clear out the inventory just for now so we can have a little bit of room here. Don't think I need to hold the bowl on me, so that should be good. I don't think that this will disappear when we move the caravan, so I think it should be fine to keep it there. But I think I'm going to move the caravan up here, and then we'll go to the dungeon from here, and then we'll just turn in the quest here, grab the next one, and go up and complete the dungeon here. And that way I'll have... I will have had enough time for the caravan to refresh. We may have to move the caravan again. I don't know if we have the resources to move it all the way to the second town. But we could also just move the caravan halfway to the second town. Somewhere like here. And do some exploration. And look for some of the... stuff like the herbalist hut. Yeah, because we're getting pretty low on fodder, so I'm going to need to buy some more. I don't know if the 44 is going to get us there, so we may have to move it back. Okay. I don't think I should have to worry about food, because we are going into the bandit dungeon, and the bandit dungeon tends to have a surplus of random vegetables and stuff that drop in the dungeon. Fruit and vegetables. It's like catacombs you have to be a little bit more worried about going into with no food, because pretty much the only thing that drops in catacombs are valuables. Yeah, that's definitely a bandit because we can see a light source. Still rather inaccurate with these swing shots. Okay. Probably want to pick up some more stones as well. A little bit damage on the hands, but we can let that repair by itself. Stick. Thought you could find stones on these tiles. I haven't seen a whole lot of them. Maybe it's... oh, there's some stones. It's probably just less common, and I also could just be missing them because of my inability to see because of how dark it is. We have to be a little bit more wary about traveling at night, because there was that one time where I accidentally walked into a boar because of the nighttime, so it's a little less easy to traverse the map at night than it was a patch ago, but I'm all for realism. Having, I still think that this mechanic could use a little bit of polishing. I don't have any suggestions at the moment, but I feel like there's still some mild room for improvement. Seems fine for now, though. I just think that, like, mechanically, I'm not entirely sure what it's adding or not adding at the moment. I'll have to sit and think about it for a bit. Mull it over as I do, for I am a thinker. What do we have? I'm gonna get a couple more rocks. I have a feeling we're gonna run out of stones by the end of the dungeon if I don't. There's some more over here. At least I thought I saw some. Yeah, there's some. Stones. There we go. Pretty much all stoned up. Hey, it's just to kill the gang leader objective. Fairly standard dungeon. Okay, we get cabbage. That's good. Oh, we have a backpack now. Very good. Forgot that I might have accidentally stored some stuff in there. Okay. See, in the last patch, these guys would have aggroed as soon as I opened the door, so they can't see me from where they were standing. So the light thing is sort of in effect. Where are you going, Kapeki? Okay, you open the door. Yep. Okay, I could pick that up. Let's do a scout. Usually there's traps in this room. And I have not been clicking on the scout examine surrounding thing, and it's gotten me in a bit of trouble earlier on in some of the last playthroughs. Gooseberry I will leave on the ground. The nutrition value of that is quite low. Okay, right, we have crowbar. Is there a mini game with it now, or that's a new animation? Interesting. That was the first time using the crowbar in the new patch. I wonder if it is using durability. It must be using durability every time it does that. Yeah, they changed it, because the old crowbar had 10 durability on it. Now it has 75. Interesting. Speed of completing the task depends on strength. Okay, interesting. Interesting. That's cool. Whoops. That's why I should be using my exam surroundings. I could have accidentally tripped that. I didn't re-pick up my stones. I was too distracted. Okay. I'm wondering if there's going to be pitch black dungeons at some point. Because we even saw that the caves have a little bit of light leaking through. As there's like holes coming in through some of the walls. So nothing's completely pitch black so far, but I might experiment in this dungeon using the lantern just to mess around with that, since we haven't yet. And the whole reason I bought it was because it doesn't require you to carry it to light. It says something about it being... Yeah, we got pretty lucky. Normally we miss. But he might cause us some problems on retreat. So, just to be careful about not aggroing more dudes while he's running around. Okay. Carrot. Bandage. Getting a decent amount of food loot, which is what we kind of needed because we didn't have it. And I think this is the same guy from earlier, right? Yeah. He's still got a hand injury. I think that's why he immediately lost his morale and started running away. Okay. It is annoying how inaccurate these things are, but at least they do decent damage. Okay, got the level. Get a handful of these skills. I guess that means that disarming the ground things are going to be a little bit more annoying as well. Stones, piece of leather. Okay, I'll do another quick... Yeah, it's a good thing I did it. Okay, we did level, so let us spec 1 point into perception. I think that unlocked warfares? Yeah, it did. Okay, so we can get offensive tactics. We have 2 talents. One of them was going to go into bow. Or no, ranked weapons. We're going to get starting volley, which I believe is the... Yeah, I believe it's you quick loading 2 shots, but one of them, or they both get a weapon damage penalty. But it's still 2 strikes. Mark a tile, 2 different tiles, or the same tile twice. Does it only work with a bow or sling? Doesn't work for the crossbow, does it? And take a shot. If equipped with a crossbow, instantly reloads it and doubles the applied penalties. Okay, so it's less effective for the crossbow, but it does have the advantage that it allows the crossbow to shoot in succession pretty quickly. which the crossbow tends to be the slowest of the ranged weapons because of how long it takes to reload it. But it is the more powerful of the ranged weapons because of that. And it's using durability as you're going through this animation. Interesting. Okay, well maybe this tweaks the lockpicks back into being more useful. I was just talking about, I think in the last session, about how the crowbar is better than the lockpicks, but maybe with this change to the crowbar is not as effective. But it looks like it's been taking exactly 10 durability per, which does bring the usage of the crowbar down slightly, because we used to have 10 usages of the crowbar, and now we only have hypothetically 7. So yeah, now I have to re-evaluate whether or not the lockpicks are better than the crowbar, especially since they don't take as long to really need to be checking rooms. They don't take as long to open as well, so they have that going for them as well. I'm not sure if the animation is its own separate action, or if it's counting as rounds. So, I don't know what happens if you're engaged in combat and you're trying to open a chest. We'll have to test that. Because it could just be its own separate action. Kind of like in Skyrim, when you try to open something that requires lockpicking, it kind of just freezes the rest of the gameplay while you're doing it. But I don't know. Okay, take a quick look just to make sure there's no traps. Sounds like he stood on a trap. Yep. That's why you check for traps. Candle's End. Let's move some of our loot in here. I'm gonna put the liquor in here. We can put the cabbage in here. Okay, we got another one of those, which is great. This is probably gonna cost more than I'll get for it, because I'm gonna need to repair it to sell it. Some of this is just upgrade stuff for the caravan. That's gonna be for making some more splints. Got an extra bandage, got plenty of food. So if we can find their kitchen inside of the dungeon, which usually the bandit dungeon spawns a kitchen in it. And we'll pick up a Candle's End. And we'll maybe experiment with this lantern that we have in a second here. Just to, so we can use that Candle's End and get it out of the inventory by refueling the lantern with it. Kind of got the copper candlestick, those are always worth money. Okay. Let's just go to another open space and I'll light this just to see what it does. Because we have not yet. Just take a quick. Okay, so it's here. I'm gonna assume that this is the boss room. Might just be another wing of the dungeon. But we'll try lighting this. Fasten. So yeah, that's what I thought. When you fasten it, it illuminates and it starts ticking down. And it has a cool new little animation where it's hanging off your belt, which is pretty cool. Oh, I forgot to pick up the, totally forgot I put that on my bar. I forgot we were going to pick up the warfare, which would come in handy right now. Yeah, we're going to double hit this one. quick look. I'm gonna assume that the lighting allows you to see farther for spotting stuff as well. But I also know from experience from dealing with the enemies already that this now puts a big target on us, because now the enemies can actually see us from across the dungeon. Yeah. Normally I would have been able to creep up on them, but they were able to see me much further because of the lantern on our belt. So let's get some space. Drop the war club. Well, that's a ripoff. Usually the bosses drop a purse full of cash. Well, whatever. Still one guy in here that ran away. Okay. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off now. I'll load the candle in it. Merge. Well, we got to experiment with that. Still need to find the food place. That's the bedroom. Let's pick this open where our loot's gonna be. Okay, that happened instantaneously. How much durability? It only took one? Okay. Nice. Okay, this thing's perfectly damaged at 50%, so we can actually sell that one. Whoops. We're gonna need to make some room for it, though. Forget about that. Oh yeah, I can also throw some of this stuff. I always forget you can put some of the valuables inside of... Can't put that one in there. Put some of the valuables in there. I think the rings can also go in here too. No. That's the other purse. Okay. Lots of little knickknacks in this dungeon. I'm gonna have to leave some stuff behind. Either that or I'm gonna have to take 2 trips. Which I don't usually like doing, but sometimes it's worth it. Okay, here's the kitchen. Let's see what other stuff we got. Okay, we actually have some meat, so we can make something hearty. Is this swing meat? No, this is the regular meat. This meat you don't really want to eat unless you have to. Let's fill this up, 'cause I'm probably gonna make some dayteller stew, because we did get that recipe and it needs meat for it, which we have. And then just 3 vegetables. That one's a fruit. That one's also a fruit. We can make a fruit salad though. Okay, I'm gonna use the potato for sure, because I think there is a couple recipes that require potatoes, but as one of the ingredients, but they are not as common. Rotate these around. Perfect. I think we'll peel off one stack of cabbage. We need one more. We want to keep, I think, the onion and the beet. So we'll use the carrot. And I will just put it in the plate for now. And then we'll make fruit salad since we have 2 fruits. It's 2 fruits and 2 berries. Okay, that's a bit more annoying. We do have the 1 berry on the ground, the mulberry that I left on the ground earlier. Did we? Yeah, barberry, and then was there another one? Gooseberry. Okay, we could make that real quick then. A little bit of backtracking. It'll be worth it though. Just gonna have to be careful of these traps on the way. Doing a quick search just in case. Not a whole lot in this dungeon via loot though. Unfortunately. Which is fine, because we're not going back to the town immediately anyways. So we're just going to be storing this stuff at our caravan and going straight to the next dungeon after this. But we didn't take a whole lot of body damage either, so that's pretty good. Pretty clean dungeon, all things considered. Pretty small dungeon as well, so. Eat that. This one gives a pretty good immunity, especially considering the recipe components for it. The berries have very mild modifiers on them, so turning it into a fruit salad actually gives it some oomph for filling you up and such. Okay, we're still quite hungry though, so let's split this and make a green salad. Because we got the onion for it. And then, I don't think I had any extra veg in here, did I? No. I think there was some in the other room. I'll have to check. I know I can make one more bandage. So we're going to be very filled up on bandage, which is nice. We can stockpile that for dealing with one of the cultist dungeons that has the debuff on it. It's one of the debuffs you can get in the cultist dungeon is a global debuff that makes it so you have a chance of bleeding. Oh yeah, right. Okay, we can use this leather. And we'll repair the chest piece. Okay. Could grab that mead. It's not a high priority though. But we do want to combine these two and make it into a bandage. Because not only does it decrease the space, has the 2 usages of the 2 band-aids that would normally take up 4 units of space in your inventory. Is there a way for us to sneak in something else? Because I wouldn't mind picking up that rope. I guess I could drop the charcoal. You don't need a whole lot of that. I know you need a handful of nails. It's easy to get the charcoal from the one town. I also could eat this. Yeah, let's do that. I'll eat that. I'll get the charcoal. I think that's all the loot we really want to ship out. Not a whole lot money-wise. I mean, there was a handful of little doodads we stuck in here. So this will give us a little bit of pocket change, but it was mostly just food and crafting ingredients, which will be useful, but won't immediately get us money. But we're already sitting pretty on money at the moment. We got 600 gold from cashing in the last dungeon, so that's good. Okay, so we'll head back to the caravan, drop off some of the loot that we're not wanting to sell. Well, pretty much it. We're going to drop off pretty much everything there. Then we're going to go in, hand in here, grab the next quest, which will be for the old grave. And then we will have done all the dungeons in the starting zone. And then I will evaluate after that what we're going to do next. Gonna definitely need to pick up some more stones, though. Yeah. Our stockpile of stones is definitely dried up from doing the dungeon. They tend to spawn better in plains than they do in forests, so we should skirt the forest tile and try to get on one of these plains tiles. Perfect. Stones. And this should be a little bit better for us using a ranged weapon with stones, because I'm assuming that these stones are considered blunt damage, even though they don't have a weapon type on them. I'm imagining they are considered crushing damage. And the undead tend to take more damage from... because the other weapon types, the melee weapon types, have different properties. Maces, axes. I'm gonna have to quickly check their... I'll have to check the character page of one of the undead when we go in there. I don't think they added in any new undead. We saw some new cultists when we went into the cultist dungeon, but that's just because the new patch vamped the cultist faction in the game, added a bunch of new enemy types, reworked some of the older ones. Okay, you're gonna get sold later. You're gonna be used for crafting probably. I already have a handful of them, so eventually I'm probably gonna sell those ones. We got these. I think we have the bedroll, so I can check if I have the amount of straw we need now. Charcoal is needed for some of them. This will get sold off. Let's open up this, pull these out. This will all get sold at a later date. And check inside the backpack. So nails will be for crafting. This will be for, well, not for crafting, but you can use nails for crafting. We're going to be using most of them for the caravan upgrades. This can be sold, but there is a quest to turn in 5 of them. I think I have one more somewhere. No? Okay, we just have the 2. Thought I had a third one. I guess not. Okay. Straw is required for a handful of the recipes. This can be sold. And the liquor can also be sold. So we'll put those together. Okay. And I'll quickly check our... oh, we also need to put these bandages away. Do not want all of these on me. Only need 2. But we'll have surplus in case we need it. Didn't use any of our medical supplies during our little venture. I'm gonna need to remember to repair this before we head into the next dungeon. Just quickly check. I think I might have picked up the bedroll, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay. Well, we have all the materials for it. We're just missing the ladle for this. Unfortunately, we didn't see it inside of the bandit dungeon. So I think the last bandit dungeon we went into had the ladle in it. But we could still find one somewhere. Okay, we got some food to deal with our hunger in the next one. I'm gonna rest till 6 because we're gonna go over to the tower, and I do want to talk to the... Okay, I'll wait till we're hungry. Problem is I'm gonna get hungry by the time we're done the next dungeon, probably. And this place doesn't really sell food. We could check the wandering caravan guy, because he might have food on him. Okay, he does carry bread, though. I will grab one, because we will be hungry by the end. He can repair the crowbar, so we're gonna use him to repair all of our gear. Okay, he doesn't have any new supplies on him. Let's go talk to this guy, though he went back downstairs. Okay. About the contract. I'm done with the contract. Okay. Got any work? Okay. Forbidden Grimoire. I think this is... This might be the Destroy Grimoire, or this might just be... No, this one's Collect the Grimoire. Yeah, I think this one's a Collect quest. I'll just quickly check the... I don't need to head back. We can save here. Okay, he will buy this. Ooh, cool mage gloves. They're worse than our gloves, though. Hey, it's a ladle. Sure, I'll buy that. That way we can get the upgrade. I guess we'll go back to the caravan then, real quick. It's got Elven Ice Wine, and he's got the... forget what... I don't know how to pronounce that. But this is like alchemy drug that you can get. All sorts of weird medical drugs you can use in this game to give yourselves temporary bonuses with essentially hangovers afterwards. Okay. I'm gonna have to take the pot off, but now we get a permanent pot. Perfect. And it also can hold more water than these can. So we'll just fill this up. Oops. I wish that option wasn't there, or it gave you a warning every time you use it. So many times I accidentally do that. Pour into... Oh no, it holds the same amount as the regular pots. But you do need to get that upgrade to get the rest of the upgrades below it, so we needed to get it eventually to get the chicken coop. And the foraging table and special spice box. And I like getting the chicken coop pretty early. I think that it got nerfed last patch, but it used to be one of the easiest ways to make cheap and easy meals. But I think there is a negative penalty on it now, where it didn't have one before. At least for the basic fried egg recipe, which I think you get right now. No, there isn't a penalty on it. Thought there used to be one. Okay, still a decent recipe. There is some other egg recipes that you can find, but this one just 2 eggs, 10 hunger. The chicken coop, I think, has like 8 to 10 eggs in it at any given time, usually, so... Unless you're visiting it quite frequently, it's really easy to get your hunger down just using the chicken coop. Okay, we'll quickly save. I don't want to accidentally forget not to do that. And then we'll head to the next dungeon. Stockpiling a decent amount of cash. We got some extra loot from the last dungeon, and we're gonna probably acquire quite a bit of loot in this dungeon as well. Because the catacombs undead dungeons tend to have a lot more loot. Though you have to be a little bit more aggressive about looting because there's a lot of caskets to open and stuff, and that's where majority of the loot's gonna come from. I'm just gonna quickly check out this question mark before we head to the dungeon. One for the 50 XP that you get from it, and two just to see what it is, because if it's a bandit camp we can get some more loot, and if it's something else we can see what that is. A deer. Might be a deer trail then, which could be useful because we do want. No. Jump scare. That's a troll camp. I do want to explore it though. Likely they don't aggro you. We got the exploration. Also have to check my rock count. Okay, we're decent. Feel a little bit bad about this, but just want to see if it dropped any trophies. Yeah, you can't sell the skinned dog stuff for much. If I was a little quicker on the draw, I could maybe have ambushed those deer. Could ambush that one. No, lost sight of it. Maybe with this rapid shot. Maybe. Nope. Close. If we had a different ammunition type, maybe we would have been able to pull it off. I could have maybe used the dash thing to close into it. I'm not used to using the sling. That's too far away. Would be nice to get some rabbit meat. I think the bow naturally has longer range. Maybe it's just the sling that we're using. We are using one of the stick slings though, which have I think one more range than the hand slings. But who knows? Maybe one of the later tier slings is a bit better at hitting things further away. Okay, so we're not going anywhere near those trolls. I don't think I've ever defeated a troll yet. Like, not the boss troll, the regular trolls. I think I tried to fight one once, and it went terribly. I think it was on my dwarf playthrough. Because they have the... I wanted to test to make sure. Because the boss troll doesn't have attack opportunities. So if you're standing next to it and you move, it doesn't get a free hit on you. But the world trolls... and of course I get a free ladle. After buying that one. Okay, well, whatever. Fine, laugh in my face. Game. I'll eat the meal now. Okay. None of the free loot is all that great. I'll have to be careful coming out of the dungeon because at nighttime the ghouls spawn in the graveyard. So I'll have to just make sure that we're in the correct position coming out. Oh yeah, and you also find a lot of ancient coins in crypts, which are worth twice the amount of gold if you go, or maybe even 3 times the amount of gold if you go to the bank inside of Bran, which is what I call the capital city. It's interesting, even though I turned this off, that it's still counting it as being on my belt. animation-wise. Which is kind of cool. Oh, there's the light stuff coming into effect. We couldn't see that one zombie because he was hanging out in the dirt. Let me quickly check. Might be on the skeletons. I might want to turn the music down slightly. Combat music gets a little loud. The regular music's fine, but the combat music's quite intense. It might be worth holding the regular torches. I think maybe what you need to be doing with your light sources is throwing them across the room, because they stay lit on the ground, which allows you to scout out enemies as well as distract them. Do they? No, they're still not worth anything. I was wondering if they increased the price on the earrings. They've always been kind of a bait item. The gold earrings are still worth a decent amount, but the silver ones aren't. For some reason. Did that one just spawn out of nowhere? I don't see me creeping up on you. Okay, we're not taking a whole lot of body damage, which is good. So our armor is doing a good job protecting us. Okay, that's the quest complete right there. It's good that it's spawned so close to the front door, because you have to get it out and you get a curse put on you when you pick it up. So we're going to be leaving it right where it stands. That could be actually better than our starting amulets, because it's going to have two... I know that this one's the crit necklace, and it's also got 2 enchantments on it when we identify it, because it's blue. So if those enchantments are pretty good, which they could be, it must be the grimoire is resurrecting the undead. I think that's the whole gimmick of the grimoire being a thing, so we're just gonna have to constantly deal with enemies popping up we've already killed. Okay, each usage is a round. Isn't on its own. Isn't on its own. I'm blanking. I'm sure you get what I mean. It isn't on its own, like, plane of existence in the game. It has the same interaction turn-based as a regular movement. Much as we don't really use our digger that often, I wouldn't mind getting another one. Ooh, that's worth a what? That's worth quite a bit of money. Yeah, this dungeon's pretty dark. The only candlelight is the random candles that are scattered around the dungeon. So I could see a catacombs getting pretty dark. Maybe the light will come into effect on the dungeons that have 2 floors. Because as you get further into the game, the dungeons start having multiple floors. So maybe it'll actually be pretty dark if we go down 1 floor. Lots of broken, highly enchanted gear, but I don't find it all that advantageous to get those unless you're actually going to use them. Since we're not using maces. And I don't have any use for that 1 ring. I'm going to have to disarm this. So that we can walk back over it. We did see... Yep. I did see him moving down there, so I knew he was coming. I'm getting pretty lucky with our daze chances. At least I think that's daze. That one's immobilized. Search. Don't want to accidentally step on any traps. I always forget to do that. And I forgot we get this new thing. Perfect. Yeah, we haven't been taking that much damage, which is great. Blend's fine. Let's use the double. Uh-oh. I think this is the boss. Let's kick back. Yeah, it's the boss. I'm gonna kite back to that. I didn't even notice there's another one here. We're gonna kite back to this room so we can fight them one at a time. And also lose sight on the boss. So that he can't hit us with his ranged attacks. Why isn't that working? Okay, that's gonna be an upgrade to our dagger, even though we don't really use daggers. Took half health, didn't take a whole lot of body part damage, which is good. So we're not going to have to use too much of this. I'm just going to use one. We could just naturally heal, but I might accidentally step on a trap or something and get put in a poor position. I would rather just be topped off. We want to make sure we don't get too far down on durability, because we're still probably going to need to open a chest in the room down here. Coins. Pick up some of our ammunition. How are we doing on that? Yeah, we still have a majority of our ammunition. There might be some stragglers, but a good thing I checked. There was a trap. I'm gonna do another check here. Yeah, one tile away from stepping on that one too. Do one more here. Okay, well, we got a sapphire, so that's a good chunk of cash right there. I don't think we have to... Yeah, a lot of extra money right there. We don't have to open this chest, which is good. Good amount of little doodads. Also have room in here. So one cool thing about doing these catacomb dungeons is they do not have nearly as much loot that takes up inventory space, but the loot quality, valuable-wise, is much higher. So, tend to pull out a lot more worth of money out of these dungeons. Typically. I have been robbed sometimes where I'll go into these and there's barely anything in them. But for the most part, usually there is a decent amount of cash. I think as soon as we pick up the grimoire, a couple of them will resurrect as well, so I'm going to have to deal with that on the way out. There's one that spawned there. Even though I was complaining earlier about our accuracy problems, they're not doing too bad now. I don't know if we got... because we did get the 1 point in perception, but that only increased our accuracy by a little bit. Did the talent I just get give me a slight bonus to specking points into it do anything? No. Sling crit effect, stagger chance. Okay, that's how I'm getting the staggers. Interesting, I just got a notification. I think. To figure out what that noise is. Happened the last time I was streaming too. Weird. On any of my bell notifications. Oh yeah, I'll have to figure that out at some point. I'm not used to hearing that noise. I don't know if it got caught in the stream capture. Or maybe it's just a noise I can only hear. Yeah, because I don't think it was from OBS. Okay, we got the grimoire. Don't think it's dark enough for the ghouls to... oh, they have spawned. Okay. I might go around and just fight them all, because it's another decent chunk of experience. We can also skin the ghouls, because they do drop... they do have a chance of dropping their hearts, which I believe we can use to sacrifice to the little effigy we have in our bag, because we're this particular character. They may have changed it though, that the ghoul hearts only spawn off the one that's one tier up. I could create a situation where that happens. I don't know if skinning them makes it so that these guys can't eat them, but we can test that right now too. So I'm gonna purposefully get this one upgraded, because I should be able to take on a tier 2 ghoul. Alright. Perfect. And we'll skin this one. Okay, he didn't drop anything but ghoul pelt. And I want the ghoul heart. Well, too bad. Okay, I don't think the ghoul pelts sell for much yet, only for 40. I could take them because we do have some room. Sure, why not? In a little bit of pain. I don't want to waste my Astrac though. Maybe these used to be good for doing anti-pain stuff. What does this herb give you? bleed resist. Interesting, you do need it for one of the upgrades. I know that that one's one of the later upgrades that you don't typically upgrade early on. Is the Bog Bean? No, it's not the Bog Bean. It's Heal Bane. That's the anti-pain one, I believe. And we're in the Alpine, so I'm probably not going to find it. Our pain's gone already anyways, or it's at least dropped below the threshold where... Might as well take this fight. That guy's not that tough. Like to get that one before he runs off the map, but it's gonna be too much to try to chase him down. Collect some stones while we're on the map. Get our ammunition back up. Should be good enough. I could grab one more chunk of stones. Okay. So I might have to move the caravan back into town. Jeez, it is quite dark at night. Okay. These are bandits for sure, right? That one's a bit higher level. I think this one is too. None of that I can use. Lavender. I think I put it was the bear meat that I put into the effigy, right? We don't have anything else in there. This is a boar trail. I don't know if we're equipped well enough to fight a boar. But I would love to get the boar tusk, I believe. That's what it drops trophy-wise. To sacrifice to the effigy, because I think it's bonus health. We will eat the bread that we picked up earlier. And I will store the pelts to be sold off. This stuff needs to be identified, and I'm definitely going to hold on to that when we'll get rid of the common dagger. We need to repair this. That's going to be traded in for the quest completion. This is all money, and we can hold on to the candles. Because I have a feeling that you're going to want to do that now with how the new mechanics work. I haven't really been using the candles or the light sources because I just feel like it's more of a detriment to use them. But there's definitely times where turning them on are good, like walking through the forest and such might be the time to use it. I just don't know how quickly the duration deplenishes. So I'm a little bit worried about keeping it on for a long period of time. I would rather just walk blind than, I don't know, one of those just weird gamer things where I like holding on to my resources rather than using them. Unless I really, really need to use them. Okay, we'll wait till the dawn of morning, and then we'll go hand in this grimoire and get a big chunk of change. And our rep should be pretty high at that point too. I think we'll probably hit a rep goal soon, or if we didn't already. Where's our rep? Where's Brook? How much should we get? Bounty hunting, we only got 3. Mysterious disappointment, or disappearance, we got 400, so we might be pretty close to hitting the threshold. Might need to do another dungeon in this town before we do. I will talk to you to get my stuff repaired. I'm assuming that it's a little bit more costly to get my stuff repaired from this guy, but than going into town and getting them individually repaired by the correct people, but at least I don't have to run around a bunch. Oh yeah, right. We have some extra doodads in there. I was like, why isn't that filled? We go all the way to 2,000. Okay. So we will reposition the caravan back. That means I'm going to have to do some dirtling, because we're going to have to wait for the caravan's debuff to... movement debuff to dissipate. But we do have... I don't know if we can do this one. Because I'm pretty sure that... Well, maybe we might be able to take on a cave eater now. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think there was another one up here that was a cave eater. Let's see how far I can move this caravan, because I wouldn't mind moving it to the next town. Can I make it there? Yeah, I'm just barely not able to make it. I can make some fodder, though. But I also could... I think we have enough. Yeah, we can go up and collect some... That's scary. I know there's an achievement for getting hit by lightning in the game. I don't know if I have it. I think I have been struck by lightning, but I think it was before the achievements got added into the game. Because we did have some enemies. This guy's a bit higher tier of a bandit. Okay. That would be a pretty decent shield if we were doing a shield build. Though they may have changed. They may have changed the stats on that because they have been moving around some of the equipment. That one was always a pretty good early shield to get. Sometimes they'll add new equipment and then move certain things down a tier. But we're gonna just grab any curbs we can find. I have a pretty low chance of getting struck by lightning. I think you have a higher chance of being struck by lightning if you're wearing metal equipment. But we're just gonna be grabbing any of these herbs we can find because they can all get turned into fodder. I think we're at 44 and we need to get to about 50. We get about 2 per herb now, I think, fodder wise. So let's see what we get. Don't think this turns into fodder, no. Okay, it looks like the rain's dying down now. Fodder, that's 8. I am definitely going to need to buy some more once we get into the next town. So I don't like scrounging at yourself. It was a little bit more satisfying doing it before, but they changed the values, because you used to get like closer to 5 when making it yourself, but they decreased how much you get from each herb, but then they also made it so that the cost of moving the caravan was less, so they just kind of scaled down the values slightly. But it does make purchasing it a little bit better, and I'd rather purchase it because I'm not all that interested in spending all of my time running around on the map looking for things that turn into fodder. That should be enough. Especially when I'm streaming, because nobody wants to sit around watching me run around trying to get fodder. Okay. It's still kind of raining, so we are getting soaked. Well, we can dry off back here, and then we can move the caravan over to the second town. Probably we'll do a little exploration around it before we start doing the dungeons. But I might just tackle a dungeon or whatever, so we can have a bit of more excitement before I end the stream. Because exploration is a little dull. Not gonna lie on that front. Okay, we'll put this here. Okay, I think we should be ready to move now. We are going to need some more food. Okay, so we do know that this dungeon is here, so we can camp out here. I'm assuming that the bandit dungeon's either going to be here or here. And then obviously the cathedral usually spawns over here. I have seen it spawn here, I think, before. It's very rare for it to spawn there, though. I think the days don't move as fast as they used to when you move the caravan. Because I could have sworn like 2 days used to go by if you didn't have the full upgrades. So I think they changed that. I could be mistaken on that though. Okay, let's grab all the things we're gonna sell. We're gonna sell you all of these. We're gonna have to put some stuff in here. And then these we can all stick in here. And I would like to get this stuff in because we're gonna want them identified. Oh, I should have. Now we have a decent amount of healing cells. We only used one. I did repair that, that's good. I will stick this here for now then, so that I can free up some room to get these in. And we'll stick these in here as well, so I can get this dagger in. Bring this all into town. I don't think there's anything else we want to bring in. Oh, this is rotted now. Whoops. Didn't use it in time. Okay, I need to remember to buy more fodder. Because I can't go spending all of our money and then not being able to move the caravan. Because I have done that before and that is painful because then I have to run around collecting all the fodder by hand and that's just a slow, arduous process that I don't really want to deal with. Okay. So, we definitely want to sell off as much stuff as we can right away. Since we have these hides, I will go over to the cloth guy first. This guy used to not be here like 2 patches ago. But I am glad they finally put a cloth vendor in this town. I think the creator just wanted to have the towns all kind of be unique, and since the first town... Don't tell me it's just like 1 durability off. It should be, it's at 50%. It's not red. Okay, I guess we're gonna need a cloth piece if we're gonna want to sell that. Lame. Thought it was good enough. Oh well. Okay. Well, we'll hold on to that. If we find a cloth piece, we can just repair that once and we should be able to sell it for a decent amount. We want to sell this and this. These go to the bartender. This is all getting sold to the general goods. These can get identified from the general goods. Then we have a bunch of other stuff in here. I might actually end up taking all of this guy's money. He has a decent chunk of cash though. So. But we do have that aquamarine, so I feel like we're going to probably take all of this guy's money, which is fine. Most vendors will buy the valuables for a decent amount. You don't have to sell them to just the general goods guy. Okay. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna have enough cash on hand to buy most of our stuff. Aquamarines for what? 500? Yeah, well, he won't give us full price for it, but 300 is still good. Okay, we're gonna want... I think I can transport it directly to the caravan, yep. I'm just gonna buy... How much does it cost? Jeez, it's expensive. We have the money, though. I will buy 3 stacks just so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. Does this guy have anything on hand that we would want? Probably the chicken coop. We do need a bucket. Bucket's only 10. Do I have an extra bucket? I think there's a bucket by the well. Think we can jack that. Steal the town bucket. I definitely do like getting the chicken coop. Let's do that. It is one of my favorite upgrades because then you don't really have to worry about food as much anymore. We do need the identification scrolls for these. At the very worst, if I'm not going to use the amulet. Physical resist, which is good, and rending resist, which is not very good. Because the amount of enemies in the game that rend is quite few and far between. Crit is fine. Physical resist is fine. I do like the accuracy on this though, because we do have the pretty low accuracy on our range weapons though. I think I'll just sell this. At least I'll get 12 gold back from doing that. Okay, and then this one's just a general better upgrade of our dagger because it's a tier 2 dagger. Not that we're actually going to use it as a weapon. I just like having a slightly higher quality dagger on hand. We could technically throw it at somebody if we really need to. But we are playing a range build, so we don't really need to be using throwing daggers as a range option. Okay, it doesn't look like he has anything. This is a bit expensive, but I might want to snatch up some the herbal remedies because they're quite sparse in this town. I am going to need to pick up this bucket. It's not considered stealing for some reason. Because usually most towns in the medieval age have a communal bucket by the well, but you can snag them in this game. It would be cool if mechanically the creator made a asterisk on the stuff like the town bucket, where if it's considered stealing if you pick it up and move off map. But I don't know how that would operate, because technically the guards wouldn't be after you because of how the stealing mechanic works. So I don't think that could be programmed in efficiently, but it's worth thinking. I think that the stealing mechanic still needs some work as well, because I don't quite like where it is in the game, but just with how the game is set up with this turn-based thing, and that clearly the NPCs do have facing directional stuff. I have noticed that in the game. When enemies have their back turned, they're usually less aware of you if their model is the opposite direction. But I'm not quite sure how it works. But since this isn't a three-dimensional space like a game like Skyrim, it's a bit more awkward to tell stealing-wise what's going on. And the little bit of experimenting I did with it when they originally added it into the game, I'm not fully convinced that the NPCs kinda are cheating in detecting you. But we'll grab some food in the inn and sell a little liquor to the innkeeper. I'll buy the pot roast. Perfect. Okay, we still have 1,000 gold after buying some upgrades and fodder, so I could look to upgrade something, I guess. We're still fine on medical supplies. Let's just take a quick gander at his pole arms, because we've been using this one since the beginning of the game. It is a good pole arm, but we'll just see what he is. That's considered an axe? That's an axe. And that's a pole arm. I think that's kind of the equivalency of what we're wearing, but ours is better. Has slightly different things on it, stat-wise. Is this a pole arm? Yeah. Armor, penetration. I still like the body part damage on ours. The lead chance is pretty high, and immobilize chance is pretty high. This is more defensive, which we might want to go for a more defensive polearm, since we're trying to be more offensive with our range weapon. And we're probably going to want to be more defensive when enemies get to us, but sometimes a good offense is a good defense, and just being hyper-focused on offense and killing things quickly is the better option. Especially in a game like this where you can easily get overwhelmed by your enemies. I would still like the game to add hireable compadres that you can bring with you into the dungeon. That would be cool. Or, you know, overworld travel with you, yada yada. It could just be for the dungeons, but it would be nice to just have some disposable grunts on your side that you can have follow you. It might happen, because in one of the last patches, he made it so that the quest for rescuing the NPCs in the dungeon, you actually have to escort them out of the dungeon. So he might be dabbling with that idea already. because he did also add in the... Because he did do a little bit of a rework to targeting and stuff when he added in the Arcanist tree, because they did add these phantasms, which are summonable allies for your side, as well as the crystal. The mana crystal is also a thing that you summon on the board that can be attacked. So there is definitely a possibility that they are considering the thing that I'm talking about. I'm not going to take credit for it. It's just a good idea in general, but I did have an interesting conversation with somebody in one of my very first streams where I was talking to him about it, and he was agreeing with me that it was a good idea. And I have no idea who that guy was, and he never came back, so maybe I was talking to a secret developer. Who knows? Let's see here. I don't see anything that I want to upgrade currently. We don't have high enough reputation with the town to get the next tier of equipment. Assuming after we do a Wheel of Dungeons will be high enough to get favorable pricings, but this town, I'm pretty sure we're not going to get additional. It is Manshire we're in, right? Yeah, there isn't a doesn't look like there's a loot. Yeah, normally you get like a wider selection. Manshire doesn't have a wider selection, unless they're just being hidden at the moment, because it only shows me a couple of them at a time. But I'm pretty sure, and maybe it's because I'm low reputation that you can't see the next ones until you've unlocked that. So yeah, it's the third option. So it's going to be a while before we get a wider breadth of equipment, like upgraded equipment. So probably going to have to do 2 to 3 cycles of dungeons in this town before we can get better equipment. But the equipment does change, I think, every 5 levels. So in 3 more levels, we should have some slightly different equipment inside of the town. But I think that I've been streaming for, I think I started at 8. I could do about 20 more minutes, I think. Should be enough time to do 1 dungeon. I'll pick up the... Hopefully he has it. We don't want Bandit Den. Okay, he has the availability of level 3. We don't want the Bloodsuckers, because that one's probably the Catacombs dungeon. So I think it's Ominous Lights. Yeah, it'll be Ravenhill. Hopefully we are in a position where I can do this dungeon. Let me just take a... Yeah, it's not too far away. Okay. This will probably suck up a decent chunk of our resources doing this. I might want to consider... I do have extra cash. I might want to consider getting some ammunition now, instead of using rocks. I can store the rocks away. I think we just need a little extra oomph for fighting the enemies, so let's pick up some better ammunition. So this one has the different modifier status effects on it, but I think it only increases it by a times table, so it's giving a bonus to what you currently have. This one has higher damage output on it, as well as the penetration and body part damage, so I think these are the ones we want. They're about the same price, but these are going to be the better DPS ammunition type. Yeah, because these things could be an upgrade, but I don't want to go into medium armor. I think I want to stay on the light armor, because we're using ranged weapons mostly. We don't have to worry about getting in close. And since we're constantly using something that requires energy, having the higher armor type is going to increase the cost of using that skill over and over again. So let's store away a couple stacks of these rocks. So once I run out of these, I can get them back super easy. We'll grab back my stuff that I stored in here and we'll resupply one of our herbal extracts. I might want to grab all of them actually, or at least most of them, because I have a feeling we're going to use a bunch of them in this next dungeon. We're going to upgrade the chicken coop. Oh, getting the bedroll might have been a good idea too. That's okay, we can get it after this dungeon. We're gonna need the extra money anyways for supplies and such. It just would be nice to have a bed that gives us better rest. Okay, so preparations. Alright, sling bullets. Okay, we're using the correct ammunition. We got a decent amount of medical supplies. This is repaired. Everything's good. My ring's still pretty badly damaged, but we can't deal with that until we go to the capital. Oh yeah, we still have this thing in here. Don't want that in here, even though we're going into a catacombs dungeon, so usually the loot is more value, less inventory space, but I think we want our inventory as free as it possibly can be. Okay, let us drink. We will just do an hour of rest to save and just get rid of any little mild fatigue that we have. We're so close that if I really need to, I can quickly come back and make some omelets with the chicken coop. And we're so close, so we're not going to get into any encounters, hopefully. Easy peasy, quick trek to the dungeon. I do like when it's this close to town. Okay, and this one I don't think spawns ghouls on the outside ever, so we don't have to worry about that. And we've already been here once in the last episode, I believe. So I don't need to loot the outside. I think I poked my head in here, so unless the dungeon reset, we already have the layout set. So even if we die, we're gonna have the same layout. Oh yeah, I forgot we're using the new ammunition. I'm gonna have to be careful. We're gonna have to kick the ghoul back a little bit. Yeah, so we don't want it close to a body when we kill it. We will skin it though. Ghoul hurt? No. Dang it. Okay, we'll heal up a bit. I think that was mostly from the ghoul. Leather. Use that to repair my chest piece. Looks like they brought the amount of durability that's on the repairing pieces down this patch, which is a little annoying, but Whatever, maybe it was a little bit too much value. Interesting, it's this one. Do we want the hunting net? No, we got rid of it in the early game. I hate this quest because you get to fight a bunch of these ghosts. Ghosts are one of the most annoying undead to deal with. I think they eventually stop spawning. I think you only get 3 of them spawn out of the soul well. But I usually like destroying it before all 3 spawn. Because they take a whole lot less damage. And they have that stupid attack. Okay, it's dead. Looks like the 3rd one's probably gonna spawn. So I'm not gonna get over there in time. Luckily, it looks like it's still only spawning the low tier ghosts, because there are different tiers of ghosts. So there are ones that spawn with weapons, and I think there's also a caster one. Okay, there's a higher tier one. I don't know if they keep spawning, but we definitely don't want any more of those higher tier ones to spawn. And I don't think they're based on proximity, so probably the other 2 wells that I believe are in this dungeon are going to have at least 1 or 2 ghosts hanging out around them. But I could be wrong. I just remember it being that way. Did I open that side room in the last one? I don't think I did. I may have lost some loot. Can't remember if we ended up opening it. I may have gotten distracted. Whatever. Yeah, that's worth an okay amount of money. This might not be worth it. Because the identification scroll is going to be worth 10. I'd still be able to make a little bit of money off of it, but might not be worth lugging that if just as a worry for anyone watching. If you're using this as a reference to figure out what to do with the game. Certain items aren't worth identifying because the cost is too low. You kind of have to think of each identification's 10 off the total price. Unless... yeah, it is not based on proximity because we already got a couple ghosts around it. And unfortunately we got one of the higher tier spear ghosts. I can't take on that many. We got a broken leg. Let's get that fixed up. Okay. Okay, we're really close to leveling 2. Okay. We'll this to get rid of our pain. I don't have the recipe for Purple Astrike yet, do I? Hey, smoking mix. No. I think that's one of the ones you can only find in dungeons. Or maybe you find it in the herb. I think actually, now that I think of it, you can find it at the herbalist hut, which is usually somewhere around here. I think I've also seen it spawn over here, but I'm pretty sure it spawns right here. And it also has the herbalist knapsack, which is quite helpful. Okay, hopefully we'll have enough medical supplies to get our way through the rest of the dungeon. Okay, looks like we only have the one. Hoping this is the last one to spawn out of the well. Right, now we get another one. Okay, should be able to finish this one off. Alright, not in time. Okay, we get a level. We'll immediately put that into perception. Do we get any additional talents? We do not. How about for warfare? I wouldn't mind getting Seize Initiative. Seize Initiative is pretty good. What do we have for ranged? This one we won't get until level 10. There's in 2 more levels. That will also be level 10, and that will also be level 10. I don't care too much about suppression. Damage shots that apply to target within vision. Each missed chance gives accuracy. That's probably going to be pretty good for the sling. If equipped it with a crossbow or sling, both effects trigger twice per shot. But not with the bow? Interesting. Definitely interesting. Okay. So we're gonna want 2 points saved. But we're at level 8, right? So we get 2 more over the course of the next 2 levels. So I could spend a point right now. The options are, we could go warfare and grab this. We could also go survival and have the higher, I think this gives the higher harvesting. Grants butchery a 25% chance to harvest pelts regardless of the damage type. Kill animals, succeed. It'll also allow it to always succeed at collecting a special hunting trophy, which I believe I should pick up because we do need the hunting trophies for our passive that we get for our bone charm. So I think, as much as I would like, especially exactly in this moment, Seize Initiative would be good as another melee attack that we can use on this. I think we want to pick up this. It also makes it so we do more damage to animals and accuracy to animals. So it makes hunting a little bit easier. And it just gives a slightly less fumble chance. And our vigor gives crit chance, which we don't currently have. But the fumble chance will be decent for this fight at least. I will apply offensive tactics. I should just be able to melee this guy down. Yep. Didn't take too much. I won't worry about healing that for now. Finish looting this room. That's a good amount of money. But we have to remember to hold on to our next 2 points that we get for the next 2 levels. Why am I switching between stones and sling ammo? Not that I care, we can use the rest of the stones, but it's kind of weird. Might just be a bug in the game at the moment. So I'm pretty sure that when you have it set to an ammo type, it uses that ammo until you're out of it. But maybe it currently is, once a stack is used, it just auto picks something in your sling bag based on the where it is in your stack, and it's prioritizing the stones because of where they are. I'm not sure. Okay. So this is the only way forward at the moment. Okay. These ones you don't need a crowbar to disarm. And they're also not deadly, they're just a noise alarm, which could be deadly if you didn't position yourself correctly, but... Okay, piece of cloth. We do need to save these for the stuff back at our camp so that we can sell that equipment, so we can't use that on our own equipment at the moment. But I should be able to sell the apprentice thing now. Yeah, I'll use this to back up. Okay. I do like the sound of the sling ammunition. Okay, feathers are a decent amount. Okay, I think the boss room is independent from these. So I feel like there's gonna be one more room, probably this one. Okay, we got a skeleton finally. I'm wondering what's happening with him is that he can't see me, so he moves because he sees that I'm charging up an attack and he moves to get out of range, and then he realizes that he can't see me and he moves back. Okay, there's a well over there. Because we want to get rid of this wall, because we don't want another one spawning. Okay. Topaz. Yeah, those ones are worth an okay amount of money. Not as good as the... was it aquamarine that we got? These are not... These are definitely not worth identifying. They are not worth... I think they're worth less than 10 gold. If not, they're worth like exactly 10 gold, and then the amethysts are worth... Well, I think they used to be worth more. They're actually worth less than the topaz. Could have sworn that they were worth more at one point. That's okay. Still worth a decent chunk of change. That shouldn't be a deadly trap, but... I'm not going to step on it. Okay, turquoise. Let's stick these in here. And we've gotten quite a few old coins, so we're going to have that to look forward to once we head back to the capital. I'm going to want to do a little bit of healing. Good thing we brought the extra healing cells, because we have been using them. I could probably use this to repair our chest piece. Okay, so we've gotten the 3 wells. I'm pretty sure that that's part of the quest. Did I not? I did not pick up the quest. Well, I better go do that before we kill the boss, because then the contract isn't worth as much. Oh, okay, the ghouls do spawn here now. I could have sworn they didn't before. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Gotta be a little bit careful here. We'll stand on the corpse, because he cannot eat it while we're standing on it. But we should get the hearts from them now that we have the new butchering trait. Okay, there isn't a third one. Just want to quickly check to make sure. Don't want one ambushing me out of nowhere. Okay, so ghouls do spawn here now. Good to know. Okay. They do sell for a decent amount, but we're going to need to sacrifice one of them to the help, right? What does it give? Health restoration? Decent. I'll take some health restoration. Not the best effect, but not the worst either. At least we now have a second effect on it. Alright, we will quickly run back to the caravan. This kind of works for us too, because we want to get our hunger back. We'll rest one day and then we'll pick up the quest. Works out just correctly, because we need to get our hunger anyways. We would have probably got hungry right after the boss fight. Oh, what? The chickens haven't laid eggs yet. What the heck? Okay, well maybe if we switch it to the next day. Nope. Still not. Okay, well we need to go into town anyways. Works out. We could sell some of this stuff. Is there anything we're dropping off here? No, that's empty. We can now use this to repair this. It should now be sellable. Hopefully. This one we still need to repair a bit, but we can sell that eventually too. Okay, we're gonna head into town. I can replenish this. We're gonna maybe need to pick up some more healing cells. Another herbal extract will be good too. I'm gonna hit this now, just to organize the inventory a little bit. Okay, you don't have anything interesting. Pretty much almost the same inventory, a little bit different stuff. But he hasn't changed the mage gloves he had last time we checked. Gonna have to move all of this stuff out. I think he has an updated inventory. It looks like he had a little bit more money than he did the last time we talked with him. I don't know. I guess they changed this. This used to be a valuable, now it's an ingredient. Interesting. Okay, you can't sell them to him anymore, but maybe you can sell them to... Yeah, it looks like you got a new inventory. Moose antlers. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has... I will grab this off of him. Okay, I'll sell the cloth armor to this guy. He's also got the better backpack. I think it's because we leveled up. Maybe the vendors changed their inventory now. We could buy it. I do like having the more space. Upgrade wise, we still don't have a new sling pouch. Do also want to get the tent. Yeah, let's grab the better backpack. Well, we have the extra cash. And I think I will also grab this bed. Because it's only 300 gold. Okay, we have to go get our other stuff repaired at the blacksmith. I'm quickly going to pop in here. This guy might have a astract or two, but he usually doesn't. He's got one. He doesn't buy the heart. Might be able to sell this to the... Oh yeah, right. I am not a human. I am a dwarf. I cannot pray. I might be able to sell the heart to this guy. No. I might be able to sell it to the guy that's at this table usually, but he's not here right now. The hunter that travels around from town to town. This guy also kind of has a weird buying pool. No, he doesn't buy it either. We do want to repair that though. And we do want to repair this. And then we'll take a little gander at your stuff. I could get some more ammunition actually. Bill hook is probably what we want. Still a little out of our price range now. But that's probably the upgrade we want. Crit efficiency. Well, it does have the fumble chance. There is one, I think there is one or two more in the tier 2, so we could look for those. There's one. Maybe this is the one we want. It's got bleed chance on it. I think we want immobilization though. I think maybe we might want the block, bleed. That's another one. I think we do want the defensive one then. But we might just hold on to this one until we get to the 3rd tier of full arm, because it's not bad. Yeah, this one has much more space. Take them all. But... Hey. You only have salad. Hunter stout drumsticks. We'll do this. Good enough. I guess we're throwing that out then. I don't know if I want to hold on to it. I don't know who we can find to sell it to. Because I think maybe the hunter will buy it, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to waste inventory space trying to hold on to it until then. We can find plenty of other ghouls if we can find somebody who will actually buy them. I'll store these rocks. Oh, I forgot to identify the amulet. Oh, whatever. I could just store this, I guess. If I find an identification scroll, then it'll be much more worth it. We can do the upgrade for the tent. Now we get more vigor when we rest, and it now unlocks the ability to unlock something else. Yeah, I think this allows, the whole talk is to try to get the letters. What he's talking about is the web of contracts, which you need to get down here, but you have to pay the 1,000 gold, and then he gets this for you, which is good because it adds an extra day to the amount of time that it takes to do a quest, and allows for extra reputation gain around settlements, which is pretty good. So we might consider unlocking that after this quest, because we should get enough money. But we might want to have some extra pocket change to play with, so we might not do that. Let's see if the eggs have spawned yet. Still haven't spawned. I wonder if they've changed this where you have to actually like feed them. I would like to see you be able to like have traveling goats or something that you can butcher or whatever to get some meat. And or another concept of it would be for milking them, because technically you can milk goats, and you can do that with cows, but I think traveling cows doesn't make as much sense as traveling goats. So thematically for it, obviously goat milk doesn't taste as good as cow's milk, but this is a game, not real life, so I don't have to deal with the outcome of the milk tasting bad. Okay. We will rest for 2 hours just to get our vigor up. 300 turns isn't bad. I don't think that'll make it to the... I don't think that'll be enough time to make it to the boss, but at least that keeps our fatigue generation low for now. We haven't fully gotten rid of our fatigue yet. I have to be a little bit careful of that. I get a bit tunnel visioned on trying to get things complete in the game. I tend to not spend a lot of time sleeping. Okay. We should be set up to finish this dungeon fairly easy. I think all that we really have left is probably the boss and maybe a side room. Yeah, I have a feeling that the end of this corridor is the boss. That is just an undead caster. I think that zombie bled to death, which is a little bit odd, but... Alright. Definitely noticed the damage output with the new sling ammunition. Okay, it's a full room. I have to be careful because it looks like it's a bigger room. So that means there might be traps in here somewhere. Okay, we got a side crypt. An immediate open with the crowbar. Don't want to pick up people's old dusty bones. Net trap. Okay, I'm gonna open up this. Because I might need a side room to retreat to. Because usually the boss has a couple enemies with him, and it's a lot easier to take them out in these narrow rooms than it is to take them out in a wide open space, especially since a lot of the bosses tend to be casters in these dungeons. Yep. We got ourselves the Necromancer. Oh, I don't know if he's a Necromancer. Let me check. Nah, he's just a cultist. I'm gonna kite that. Okay, so unless I step on a trap, we should be fine. This should be, yeah, it's just regular gold. I will identify it. The gold rings are worth a decent amount, but we're not going to be wearing it because the gold equipment all has magic properties on it. We want silver stuff. Emeralds. Okay, they're worth a decent amount. Ooh, a rondel dagger. I think that one's technically a better dagger than this one, and it's also blue quality, so it's gonna have 2 enchantments on it. We're not using the daggers really, but they're always worthwhile to have a better one in the inventory than a worse one. Though the repair cost is higher on the higher tier daggers, so there is that. We don't really need to have... We could use just a common dagger the whole game. I just like the feeling of having a more expensive piece of equipment on me. Just feels better. I think we're done. Yeah, return. Did I do it again? I didn't pick up the quest. Okay, well, whatever. We're just gonna get less rep and less money. That was the whole reason I went back to town. Oh well. Not in the right headspace tonight. Oh well, we got a decent amount of money from the dungeon. That'll make up for my blunder. I think that's going to hurt us a lot more too, because I'm pretty sure that the dialogue that I exchange with him gives a bonus to the first dungeon that you do, and since we're getting hampered by doing it this way, I'm not going to gain as much of a modifier on it. So this probably is going to hurt me a whole lot more than... Really needed to go pick up the quest when I was here earlier, but whatever. Yeah, you don't really get a whole lot of money if you do it this way. So annoying, whatever. My mistake. I will hold on to this pouch so that we can store our old coins in it. So I don't have them cluttering up our purse. Stick that in here. We got all that. That's empty, so that's all being sold. That'll be sold. We'll get that identified. So we'll make a decent chunk of this back. Need to do some light repairing. But we will do that in the next session. I'll be calling it here for the night. Just do a quick save. We got quite a bit of stuff done today. Did 3 dungeons up here. Got that all cleaned out. Explored a little bit. Then we were able to get this final dungeon done. So in the next episode, I will probably do a little bit of scouting before we do the next 2 dungeons. I might go up here and look for the herbalist hut so I can maybe find the herbal recipe, as well as getting the herbal bag, which is good for collecting herbs. If you want to prioritize doing that, it's a little bit better than the other backpacks because it has a lot of these additional slots for herbs in it that you can't put anything else in. It also has potion slots as well. It's good if you're doing a build with that, but I think it'll be a lot better in the game once they add this alchemy tree. I don't know what's going to be in it, but eventually alchemy will be added into the game, and then maybe that herb bag will be better than the other backpacks for someone doing specifically an alchemist build. But until then, it's just delegated to being a decent bag if you can snag it early, or you can use it to gather a bunch of herbs because it has a decent amount of extra space up top for just herbs, while also having a decent amount of space on the bottom. But they're only 4 tiles wide long, so it doesn't have this larger area of space like this bag does. But anyways, I will be calling it here. If you watched the end, thank you. Have a good day.